What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be starting episode 2 of the Dylan and Donaze podcast. We hope to discuss some very important things with you guys regarding ourselves and future projects. And, I'm just going to save that good stuff for as we get into it more. Um, but I would like to start off with this, Dylan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I've been walking a lot today. Uh, my dog. I've been hot. It's like I don't know what the temperature is, but we're in the shade, which is a smart move because we'd pass out if we were over there. Um, I just been good. Just been living life. What about you?
I've been great. Life is good. Um, you know, I'm finally getting back into that groove out of being on a hiatus of,
Hmm.
being creative. We've been working on some things. I'm just in a very good spot, and I know we're going with everything as
Hmm.
far as what we're doing creatively. Um, you know, school, work, life, relationships, friendships. I really
Hmm.
like where things are right now as far as life is. And, we just have to really appreciate the moment and what we have around us right now
Right.
because who we are now is so important, all due to the fact that at some point we're going to get to where we want to be.
Yeah.
And, you know, I appreciate moments like this because it's almost like you're living in the story now, and the story hasn't even begun yet. Like I tell you all the time, this is like the
Hmm.
origin story.
Yeah.
We're just beginning, and that's going to lead me into the first question of today's discussion of what really makes this dynamic duo. And I really want to start off where it all began. And as far as our friendship goes and the brotherhood we have,
Hmm.
I really want to start with where it all began, and that is when we started working on Trace. And I know we talked about Trace a lot in episode 1, but I really want to break it down to the people of what really makes us great and what you
Hmm.
guys don't see, the phone calls, the countless amount of ideas. I
Yeah.
mean, it just fascinates me how me and this guy work and cook
And most
and
of the ideas
do
don't
so much.
even come to fruition. We just have it and say it, and we never do anything with it.
Exactly. And it all starts with Trace One and that one phone call we had, and we really didn't
Hmm.
even know the direction of Trace One. There wasn't even a script.
No.
There was no script, and just one night it really hit me, and I just really saw a vision. I saw a vision for the project, and although it didn't turn out as perfect and as good as we wanted it to be, but it was perfect. It was perfect for what it was.
Yeah.
And after that day, after that phone call, I knew there was something special between us, and I knew there was just more that we could do. And working with you really sparked a passion for me in the means of film and writing. And I always knew I had that passion for writing, and by writing poetry or reading and everything. I just always loved that aspect. But working with you really did me some good as far as that. And
Uh-huh.
what really makes us great together is how we come up with these ideas.
It's very fun.
It's not even something we don't even think about it. You don't think, you just do.
Right. You
You know,
don't
I
think
was
about
just
breathing. You
I
just
was
do it.
just talking to um Harmony yesterday,
Hmm.
and I was like, Harmony, there's no such thing as strategizing anymore. There's no such thing as planning. We just do. And whatever comes to your mind is it's what is meant to be. And
Hmm.
how you feel is so important. And that's what you got to put out there.
Right.
And when I work with him, we just do. So what comes to our mind and what feels right, we don't second guess it. We just do.
Right.
And that got us to where we are now. And I know when making these projects, And when integrating these ideas into our films, it makes us better together
It
as a
does.
duo. And would you like to add on to that, sir?
Yeah. That's see, he says a lot that I opened up his creative passion and stuff, but I think he helped me expand my creative mind too, because like he said, Trace had no vision or anything. Well, it did have a vision, it just didn't have the vision that you guys saw. But he turned it completely around, and he has been my writing partner, um, and partner in all the movies and friendship, etc. He will hopefully continue to be
Oh,
that.
forever,
Um,
forever.
and I just really enjoyed that dynamic that we had, and or have. I said had like you're, but yeah, I think we do a pretty good job,
Oh, we do a great
especially
job.
when we're
We do
together.
a great job. And we really had to hold ourselves back last episode to
Yeah,
really keep ourselves from giving you guys so much information. And
yeah,
to those that are really um, interested in the process and what we do, um, we got to hold back and keep some things Area 51.
yeah. Unfortunately,
And speaking of Area 51, we'll be talking more Area 51 as the podcast goes on, Dylan. And
yeah. I was gonna say you
see, I
did
got to
say
stop myself now
you said.
because,
I mean, what if we do it now,
well,
or should we just hold off till
we just got to hold off.
we're
That's
gonna
like
hold off,
the
guys? Okay, so what was the next topic we were gonna be discussing? Because okay, so one thing we wanted to dig in on is scripting because that's all we do. Um, that's all we think about. That's what we live and breathe and do is scripting. And a lot of people might think it's easy. And I don't like writing, but I like writing scripts. I don't know if that makes sense or not to people, but it it's not easy. And the process is very hard because when you have an idea but don't know where the idea is going to go, you're sitting with the script for weeks, months, don't know what to do with it. Like I have a script right now. I tell them all the time that it's been sitting there since 2020, and I still don't even know what to do with it. It's only a page long,
and
but yeah,
speaking of scripts, me and Dylan have quite the amount of scripts. We almost write a script for everything we do
yeah,
because, you know, when it comes to art, there's so many important aspects that go into each project. And you have to incorporate so many elements as far as fashion, painting.
hmm
You could take all of these elements as far as those, and including film and other art forms, and you got to incorporate other elements. So whether it be something I do as far as fashion design and my brand, I'm going to incorporate that writing aspect in the film, in the painting. And as far as script writing and film goes, we're going to integrate all of these different elements to bring our projects full circle. And
hmm
that's another reason of what makes us such a great dynamic, because we
yeah,
know how to implement all of these different elements into our creative process, and we know how that could create a great product.
yeah. And I kind of skipped over it because I was trying to just head to the next one, but I'm gonna take my time here because we were still talking about what makes a dynamic duo, and I forgot the steps that it takes. Stuff such as trust. You got to trust the person to take over when needed. You got to trust the person to um, you got to trust them to even accept their ideas when you have one, and accept when you what am I trying to say? You just got to understand each other because there's times where I had an idea and then he'd come up with something. I'd be like, oh, you know what, that one is better than mine. And in most cases, you guys see that on screen because sometimes I have an idea. Like going back to Trace, I had at the end I was supposed to be singing a song. And did we talk about this last episode or not? No.
No.
At the end of Trace One, I was supposed to be singing a song. Um, it was "Eye of the Tiger," Um, and he said that it was too giddy for Eric. And now that I look back on it, I'm very glad I didn't do that because that would have ruined the whole movie and everything else that followed. So,
And it's decisions like those that are so important and so critical
mhm,
to a project, because people got to understand a project could always be yours. It could always be your idea. But if you take it the wrong way, the project could always take control of you.
mhm.
And as far as that goes, and Eric, that ending was super giddy, and that would have threw off the whole series
Yeah,
if we kept that in there.
it was
Because
good in my mind.
if we were to make that transition from Trace One to Trace Two, imagine the tone of the movie would have been, and how that would have made
Totally
Eric
different.
look. It would have totally destroyed his aura.
Yeah, but
So,
at the end of the movie, I decided to go a more darker route, and I'm glad I did that too. So, um, what else makes a dynamic duo? What step would you consider?
um, the way we throw ideas at each other, and you just said it. You just said that it's like when you have a good idea or not
Hmm.
have a good idea. Because I don't always have the best ideas. Sometimes you have the best ideas.
Hmm.
And as far as Seekers goes, um, we just, spilled the beans here. Seekers is supposed to be a prequel to Traced One, that
Yeah.
we're working on, right? Or
Um,
trying to work
we're
on.
trying to bring it to life, but it's a possibility it won't happen. But if it does happen, keep your eyes out, keep your ears open. You heard it here that Seekers was supposed to be a thing.
But another thing I really admire about this dynamic is the way we throw ideas at each other. It's almost like
Hmm.
a rap, like
Yeah,
we're rapping back and forth. It's like a battle rap.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But we're not fighting a battle. It's not a battle. It's not a
right.
competition. It's just the love for the art. And that's another thing I really admire about us too, in the way we work and the way we do things. He's got the bees. But that's another thing, a
So
reason why that makes us good.
I can't at the because I'm not a good thinker like on the spot. But there's so many things that like I said, trust. He says like the ideas. Um, it's also the characteristics of the
Characteristics,
person.
yeah.
Like you can't work with a bad person, like a bad-hearted person, because it wouldn't be right. Like if you guys argue all the time, if you guys like have an idea and you're like, nah, I don't think that works for me, that's cool. But if you're like going back and forth and arguing, like we don't do that. If we have an idea, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Like there's a deleted scene. Um, Trace two. Should we release that? Remember when you were had the note?
Yeah.
I think I still have
I
it.
think we should release that. We should let the people see that.
Yeah, it's been a
To
while.
to those of you that are interested in the world of Trace, we should definitely release that and show people. Um,
That was something that we're talking about right now. Like we both, it's edited, it's already done, but we both agreed that it was too long and it just wouldn't fit the whole movie like in that space. So there's a lot of sacrifices we had to make, especially in Trace Two, because we had many scenes cut from that movie. And we both agreed on it because you got to have an agreement on everything, especially when you're working on something together. If you have a script by me, his name is always attached to it. That's because I really don't write scripts without him. So every time I'm thinking of something, I always call him up. I'm like, hey, I want to script something. You want to help me? It's always a yes. Um, and just like I said, got to have that trust between each other. And I think, yeah.
yeah, Dylan, we really formed a good brotherhood, and
Hmm.
as far as our creative process and how we go about projects, I'm so looking forward to working on more with you, and we have a lot more in store, and that's gonna lead me to really um, drop our biggest
Yeah.
project here. Well, we're gonna dive into that, and that is Legends Dream. It is something I kept under wraps for a long time. I even told him
Hmm.
that we got to keep this real, Area 51, because it is so special. It comes from a deep place within myself, and the whole process and how it came about
Hmm.
was really special. And
Yeah.
it was definitely a rough time for myself, and I was just super driven to make a project that came strictly from how I felt. And the only person I know who to call to help me with this piece was Dylan, and I even
Hmm.
allowed him to incorporate a bit of himself and his feelings and life
Hmm.
into this project as well.
Yeah, and
And when I
we'll
really
dig
look
more
at
into
it,
that.
when I look at it in retrospect, it really is gonna be our Mona Lisa, as far as
Hmm.
like our first film outside of school,
Yeah.
outside of this the Traced universe. This is gonna be our big bang, and we're gonna put a lot of effort and a lot of time into that as well. And it
Yeah.
is very important.
Yeah, I
Very
can't
important
wait
part.
to film. So
Oh no, I said it was very important.
oh, I can't wait to film Legends Dream, and that's the first time he has said it to a camera or to anybody. So whoever watches this, you're gonna be the first to hear it. Legends Dream tours while we're filming it, we'll probably start talking about what it really means to both of us. But like he said, both of our stories is in there. Um, and once you know the stories, then hopefully it maybe can relate to your story as well.
And it is definitely your Shakespearean tragedy. It is definitely
Yeah.
about a character who has the utmost horrible calamity and turns tragedy to triumph and
Hmm.
reaches that high. It is, a beautiful story. It is brilliant, if I do say so myself.
And we talk about Legends Dream. We're talking about dreams. Like, what is your dreams? What is your goals in life?
My dream is to be one of the greatest human beings of all time.
Well, you already are.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to do better than that. You got to top that.
Well, that's my ultimate goal, to be one of the greatest human beings. And when I say one of the greatest human beings, I don't mean like, oh, I'm just this egotistical, I'm just above everybody else, because that's not the case here. As a human being, I want to serve people, I want to serve other people through love, and I want to respect and treat everybody fairly and equal, because I feel like social construct has really has really torn our world apart,
Hmm.
and it has really separated humanity apart as well. And um, I really want to be one of the first people in life to make being a human being cool, because I remember like a month ago or two, or just, even some years back, I always thought when people said, "Oh, I'm only human. We're only human beings."
Right.
I always like looked at them and I'm like, "Oh, that sounds so stupid. Like, what does being human mean? Like, I'm a human being, bro.
Right.
I'm a human being. I'm a human being."
You have
And I always
feelings.
looked at that. I was like, "What do you mean you're a human being? Like, that's such a lame excuse." But it's
Hmm.
so true though,
Yeah.
because we hold so much power from within ourselves. And if we didn't let everything around us tear us down, we would be so much greater. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
that leads me into art, and how it is our gift from God, or whatever you believe in,
Hmm.
that we have to bring the world for full circle. And it's our ability to express ourselves in things that not a lot of other people see. And just like in film, you have to have an open mind for the unknown. You have to speculate and
Right.
see things from a different angle. And that's what art gives us. And I was just in the shower the other day, and I just had this thought. I'm like, I treat artists like a minority.
Hmm.
I treat artists like a minority. I
That's
wrote this down
interesting.
in my notes. I'm gonna pull out my phone here. I'm gonna say this out loud. I have like a dozen notes, bro. I've you know I treat artists like a minority. In a painting, I'm an emotion. In fashion design, I'm a feeling. In film, I'm a realist expressing my truth. All of those elements together form something that others can use as a canvas, and all of the art as a board of inspiration.
See that? It's like poetry. Why don't you do that?
Do what?
Poetry.
I do.
You
But I,
do?
I don't write it all the time though.
But
We just it's definitely something that is important, and I treat artists like a minority because we aren't looked up upon as anything. Look at Van Gogh, look at
mhm,
Picasso, look at all these great artists, Da Vinci, all of these amazing people, all of these brilliant minds. I mean, you could even take you know, Einstein as
mhm,
a artist. You
yeah,
know, we take ourselves because it's like we never get credit because we're the developers.
right.
We bring color to the world. Just look at everybody. I mean, just look at what we have. We have the iPhone, Steve Jobs. We have art. Art is so beautiful, and art means so much to us now because of people like Da Vinci,
Mhm,
Picasso, Basquiat. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Van Gogh.
And we're all artists in our own way. You don't have to be a legit artist. You don't have to be a musical artist. You can be an artist in your life, the way you carry yourself, the way you treat people. I try to treat people as kind as possible. Sometimes it gets looked down on. Sometimes I get that um, you're not you're not black enough or whatever. People throw the card at me like you act white and stuff. But what I say to that is I'm not acting none of those things. I'm acting respectful, and what you get from me is how I was raised. And if you weren't raised like that, then sorry
That's
to you.
just you,
Yeah,
right? And I really feel that because we don't get enough credit for what we do and how we express ourselves and how artists put their lives on the line. And you're not just an artist if you just paint or draw. There's artists from all around. Everything we have here, I mean, just look at this
yeah,
structure. Look at these buildings. These trees, how they cut them up,
right.
them shaped them up and how they're in
Hmm.
place. You know what I mean? That slide over there, that grill, these chairs, these
Yeah,
shoes, these socks, these shirts, those earrings, these glasses.
yeah,
It's all made by people who bring our world first full circle.
yeah,
We add color to life in what we do. And you don't have to be the greatest of all time. You don't have to be the greatest ever
yeah.
at something. You just got to make an impact in what you do. Because look at a lot of great people in society. I feel like having a voice doesn't work anymore. You have to actually have something.
Yeah, you got to
And when
be a big star. You got to be worth millions of dollars for people to listen to you. That's why people protesting and don't get nowhere. We've been like for instance the civil rights movement. It did a lot, but then again it did not do a lot. And we've been how many years ago was that? Like
that was about
50, 60,
60 years ago.
50, 60 years, and we're still dealing with the same stuff. It never stopped. It just slowed down, but
And
still.
this is what I tell people, and it's my ability to express myself as an artist and as a creative. And I vouch and have people like you around me. Like I tell people, I only hang around geniuses,
Hmm.
geniuses like you, geniuses like Rel, geniuses like Sama,
Hmm.
Jay, all of Joe, all of these people I have around my circle, and because we work with these people and we work together.
Yeah.
Because I'm really seeing the vision and these people that are around me, how we can make that impact and how we can make the world a better place through what we do. Because if you really look at that 60 years ago and you look at the civil rights movement, I'm inspired by all of those people because they were all speaking up using their voices,
Hmm.
but they had to take that risk by saying what they felt and what they had to do.
Yeah.
But now it's our job to show people better than what we could tell them through these films. I mean, look at Legends
Yeah.
Dream. Legends Dream just might change the world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now I'm a believer. You know what I'm saying? I'm a
Yeah.
believer in myself. I'm a believer in you, and I'm a believer in the ones around me.
Hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
was taught to believe in myself. I'm never doubting myself. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what we do is so important to those alike and to those who can relate, and again, how we can make this impact. But right now, this is just the origin story. We're just living this life. We're in the moment. right here having this conversation. This is just a moment in time.
Exactly.
This is just a moment in time, just foreshadowing,
Yeah.
because we'll be looking back on this stuff and looking back at how important it is and how important these conversations are.
Yeah, and like you said, about art, being an artist, you know, he's doing stuff right now like with clothing. And real quick, I want to take a break and show you guys this trailer for his clothing brand, Sukota. So take a look.
So, Sukota, my clothing brand, I don't even want to call it a clothing brand, it's a brand. And I hope it evolves into something way more than what it is now. Me being a futurist, I really
Yeah.
see a vision for our future and what we can do and what we could accomplish and how our world could look like. Because I believe building a foundation through structure and clothes and film and art is really what fulfill my creative spirit and the spirits to those alike and just living. Because
Mm-hmm.
my belief is that, if we continue to just say what we feel is right instead of doing and serving our means of life and serving others in life and making their lives easier, um, that'll help us get farther as the human race. Is that it?
It's a fly.
Okay. But let me rephrase that. Serving people and those alike and trying to make their lives easier through structure, clothes, and whatever we can meet the needs of, that is what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as Sukota goes, we're trying to emit a feeling through clothes and film and structure. And we're not yet there yet because we're just getting started. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
But um, instead of trying to make meaning through fashion, we're trying to create a feeling. And when you have a feeling about something, that draws inspiration. And
Yeah.
when others look at that and they're feeling that, they have ideas. So it's really brilliant in the sense of how people could view Sukota and some of the pieces we have, and how we
Mm-hmm.
put those pieces together, and where we put those pieces, and the feeling those people get from viewing what we have
Mm-hmm.
is going to give them inspo. They're
Right.
going to know what they want to do and they're going to feel that. And they might not just feel it through fashion. They might not just feel it through architecture. They might not just feel it through whatever. They just got to feel it and they got to express how they feel.
Right.
Because when you are trying to make meaning out of clothes and whatever you're doing, creating meaning makes a barrier between you and the art, between you and the feeling, and between others and what you're trying to put out. Because when you're sticking to one meaning, you're limiting yourself of what's really possible.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of brands do this. And I really take the time to study successful brands and what they do. And when you ask me, what do Sukota mean? It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It's a feeling. So when you look at it and when you look at the name and you feel it, and you will feel it, people, You know, when time goes on, like
Yeah.
it's about to get serious, man. Dylan, you know what I got brewing.
This
Like
fall.
this fall, this fall, and it even took me for the first collection. I didn't even want to drop it last month
Wow.
because I was like, I got so much like cooler ideas,
Hmm.
but it's okay because we're gonna get this vision across, and
But
we gotta allow these people to see what we're working
that's
with.
a good thing about it. It's called growth, guys. You grow from that. Like he just said, he had cool ideas. He didn't want to drop it, but even if he did drop it and then he released those other cool ideas after, it's showing how he grew from where he just was, right? So I think, I mean, he showed me some stuff, already, like some new stuff, and I can already see like the progression of how things are getting better. This is really cool. I can't talk about it, but I like it.
I was Trump 2024, but now I'm Kamala Harris 2024.
Politics. Oh no.
You know, I had a talk with my uncle the other day, and he said, I think Trump is stupid.
He
And
thinks.
he is pretty stupid. But he made a good point. And he said, I'm Kamala Harris. You want to know why? Because Kamala Harris is the proper reset. And I agree with you. And that's when I had an idea.
Mm.
And having Kamala in office and see me, if it wasn't up to me, I'd want Candace Owens in office.
Candace?
Candace Owens, yes, I'm a big Candace Owens
A
fan.
lot of people hate her.
I know a lot of people hate her, but I love her because, you know, like, this is another thing too. I had this idea earlier, like, what we hate is what we need. And what we hate is what makes us into what we need to be.
I don't know.
But you know, sometimes what we hate will make us better. And you know, in the means of society and how our world should be, I believe um I believe that these politicians aren't serving us well. They're not doing us any good. And as far as, you know, the Republicans, their beliefs are so flawed by how they want to take over, and then the Democrats are promising people things
Probably can do, but
they'll never do. And that's the thing though. It's like these two parties are both serving people no good. You have one where it's like, okay, we want to take over, we want to do this, and we're going to do this. You don't do it. But then on the other hand, you have a side where they're promising people something and they're not doing it. But, and this is where I was talking to my uncle, he said, I want Kamala Harris in office. You want to know why? Because she would be the proper reset. And I said, I agree. We need humanity to really see where we went wrong at. And we need to be able to see ourselves and how we could be better as a whole, as the human race. And allowing these people the one to serve us and they're not doing as their promise or what they say they're going to do, it doesn't make any sense for us to still comply with their rules and policies.
but
And
they're all different.
they're all different.
This is a whole different ball game. This is not only a woman, which would be totally different. It would change
And
the game.
and again, as far as Kamala Harris goes, I love that she's a woman. I'm women all day, pro women over here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to get to a point where we could serve our women and treat them as such because these
Mm-hmm.
women are queens out here.
Yeah.
And we're not doing our job as kings by doing what's right for them because we're so busy trying to bash women and say, "Oh, this girl's a thought over there, or this girl's a hoe over there,
Yeah.
or she's this and that." Like instead of really looking at ourselves and maybe if we just really stopped that and we started doing our job the
Mm-hmm.
right way, we wouldn't have these issues. And
Yeah.
the fact that she's a woman makes it so much better because
Yeah.
she's going to humble a lot of people
She
because not a
already
lot of
is,
people like that she's a woman
which is
running
why
for
they
office.
want Trump as
And
president.
they're a believer in the idea of politics are a man's game. It may seem like that, but having her would be the right way. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I just know what I feel is right for the country.
You're mutual.
I'm mutual. But as far as Kamala Harris goes, I would like her to humble Americans I
Yeah.
would like her to humble the whole nation, because that's what we need. Because again, what we hate is what we need. And a lot of people hate her running, but we need her to
Yeah.
be in office, and she will be in office. She will win.
I
I
believe
believe
that,
she will
and
win.
people already think she's running the country right now. Like, and I want to talk about like how the smallest things, like just in the world, like kills people on the inside. Because there was a picture that came out of Joe Biden, um, laying on a beach, like a beach chair. Outrage. Who's running the country? Why is he? He's 80 years old.
And
He's
you
probably
know
on his deathbed.
what I love, what I love about opinion, that opinion is such a beautiful concept, and it evolved into space,
Hmm.
and it evolved into a space where we just leave our ideas flat. Because when you really look at it, everybody's opinion is different. It's like everybody's living in their own fantasy.
Right.
It's like everybody's making their own story.
Hmm.
Imagine if we were living by everyone's opinion. There's so much substance matter. We can turn this person's opinion into a whole movie if we wanted to. I know I
Hmm.
could.
Hmm.
That's the rough sketch right there. So
Fantasy.
having opinion is such a beautiful concept. And it's such a beautiful space where we as humans could compromise and accept one another.
Hmm.
Because not everybody's going to, have the right opinion. Not everybody is going to say the right thing. But we have to agree to disagree. And we have
Right.
to accept the beauty and opinion and how people feel, because that's what's going to get us farther. And what if we just built off of these opinions and these ideas, how that would make our world a better place?
Right.
You know what I mean, Dylan? Like,
Hmm.
this is really where I'm going. Because, like I said, we're just a moment in time.
Right.
You know, that's the best part about politics to me. And anything that revolves around politics is opinion. And
I will.
I accept everybody for who they are. And
Hmm.
I don't really judge people very much. I kind of just sit there quiet, and I like to feed off of people's energy, and I like to
Hmm.
make them feel better about themselves.
Right.
And that's something I love to do, is make people feel better than what they already are.
Right.
Because when we downplay others and when we dismiss someone's opinion, that's just leaving us in a bad place. And I feel like our whole existence is based off of one big dichotomy. When you look at the good and the bad, it's the positive and the negative that brings us together. It's
Right.
what makes balance. It's having one bad opinion and one good opinion. Or, I mean, all opinions are bad. My opinion is horrible. I don't want to say your opinion's bad, because I really like you. You're a great person to me. You're a brother of mine.
Hmm.
Our existence is based off of one big dichotomy: perfect imbalances. But it's those perfect imbalances that we need to grow and be better as a whole. You know
Right.
what I mean? And
Hmm. It's like opposites attract, right?
right, exactly. And I used to think perfect is a real thing. Like, as far as art, oh, we can make perfect.
No.
We can make perfect.
I was just thinking about that last night about
Legends Dream
perfection.
is perfect. Okay, I know people haven't seen it yet, and it's Area 51 still. Now that it's out,
If I could show you all the script, I
cause
would.
cause think about it, Area 51. You can't enter Area 51, but we do know about it.
Right.
So yes, Area 51, Legends Dream is now very much Area 51. People know about it.
Off topic, I believe in aliens.
I do too. Yeah,
They have
I
to
do
be real,
too.
right?
Oh yeah, of course. And they don't want no business with us, but I would love to, like,
They think Joe Biden is an alien.
really.
Yeah.
Well, I got to talk to Joe Biden, because I feel like they would relate to me.
Oh Lord. I wonder, like, cause you know that thing that Elon Musk just had Trump on X. They did like a 3 hour talk or whatever.
Really?
And I was thinking about how Elon Musk is trying to change the world. Like, not like change, like I don't even know if it's good or bad. I'm kind of scared because he got too much technology on his hands and a lot of money. So no telling what he's trying to do. He's trying to go on Mars. He's trying to scary situation. By
That's
next year, I
that's
don't know.
also my biggest critique is that we're focused on the wrong things. It's like when someday, because I believe I'm gonna have the resources, I'm gonna have the people like you around me and the people in the love around me.
Hmm.
I'm only gonna be focused on humanity and serving humanity with the best possible product, whether that be clothing, whether that be structure, as far as architecture, whether that be film, entertainment. Bro, we gotta be all of that, bro. You feel me?
Hmm.
We got to be all of that, man. Because it's people who have these resources. They're just not focused and they're under control by people who aren't even serving themselves.
All right.
So there's your answer. They don't even want to serve us. But we as a nation will serve these people who are in control.
All right.
We have the answer. We have the answer. We don't got to serve these people, bro. We are kings and queens. We know what's right for us.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
I think
saying?
we take advantage of that sometimes.
And
We don't really
bro,
see the clear picture of
like you
everything.
just said, Elon Musk, he's trying to take us to Mars. He's trying to change the world. Yes, I respect the fact that you know Earth is going to be overpopulated soon and you're trying to get these things going now. But we gotta start agreeing to disagree first. We gotta stop calling each other crazy. We gotta stop. You feel me? We gotta stop downplaying other people and what they feel and their opinions. Okay,
Hmm.
because that's only gonna lead people the more trouble. We need more love in our world, and
Yeah,
I'm a believer in love, and that might sound crazy to some people,
it shouldn't.
but it's what we need, bro. Because I'm a big believer in the fact that Jeffrey Dahmer had no love. He had no love in the home. He wasn't a great person. Don't think I'm trying to empathize
No,
with Jeffrey
no.
Dahmer. He was an
Yeah.
evil human being. He was evil. Okay? You feel me?
He
But
ate us. Wait, no. Wait.
all right.
Okay, continue.
That man had no love in the home, bro. His parents
No.
were arguing. Okay? His dad was having him cut up freaking and
Roadkill.
roadkill in the garage. Like, but that's my point though, bro. Like we need more of that, and we aren't even there yet. We aren't even, you know, working on the little things to get us to that point.
I hate when stuff like that or other stuff is normalized, like bad stuff, bad habits. I hate when bad habits is normalized because people, when people don't do those bad habits, it's like you're not like me or you didn't. I don't know how to put it into words, but it's like people are celebrating bad habits instead of trying to put it in the past and become a leader instead of a follower. And I hate that for the society. Like like for instance, Michael Jackson. I love how he tried to make the world a better place. He made a lot of songs about making the
And
world a
he
better
did.
place.
He did.
He
He
did,
did make the world a better place, and
but
that's what they do. And that's another thing that I can't stand in entertainment is, you know, for example, what they did to Michael Jackson. He was an African American, but you know what they said? They called him white.
yeah,
They said he touched kids.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying?
they called him a white
And look at
woman.
look at
Let's look at perception, okay? When you perceive somebody, and I'm going to start with MJ really quickly, then I'm going to go into other people. The perception of Michael changed once the stuff came out about him, and people started caring less about his music. And I mean, not saying that people don't listen to it, like most popular guy. He's been dead 15 years, still has the most selling album. But he can I get some of that?
oh yeah.
He had the best selling album, and he's been gone 15 years, and it's still
Still
the
the best selling album.
exactly. But because of what happened, um, the perception of him changed amongst everybody, and people started worrying about the outside of the music, Michael, that wasn't the rumors. So people started like people didn't see how he every time he did like a tour, all the millions of dollars he made all went to charity. It every if y'all didn't know that every dollar he made from his tours went to charity. Like he did stuff for kids, but let's talk about other people. Okay, so how do we perceive other people, like besides MJ, like other entertainers or people that
Take
we
Kanye West, for example.
okay?
Look at what that man was trying to do. You can look it up. There's so much research and documentation on what he was trying to do and what he was trying to accomplish and how he turned his back on victimization mentality, like he said.
Hmm.
And to be quite honest, I see nothing wrong with that. In fact, he was trying to encourage other people and people like him to turn away from that as well because there's so much more potential from within. And as a black man, as a black billionaire, there should have been no surprise because he was destined for greatness all along. I
Right,
mean, look at other people. We're all destined for greatness. It doesn't matter what race you are, what skin tone. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, from a different country, if you're black, it doesn't matter. You have the potential to be great. And I hate when people hold people to that standard and take African Americans, for example. They're always held to a standard like they can't do this, they can't do that. I can't open this up because I'm black. I can't do that. I have to be white to do this. No, you don't. You are great. You are a beautiful person.
right.
You feel what I'm saying? You are destined for greatness. All you have to do is believe in yourself. You got to turn away from what they're trying to indoctrinate you with. And it is those beliefs and that trauma that they can't accomplish. They can't overachieve. They can't get farther than how they already are. And you know
Hmm.
what my goal is to the people and to those who are a minority? I'm going to make sure I'm serving those people more than everybody else. It's almost like what is it like, Dylan? It's what can I equate this to? Um being a minority is like, you're it's almost like you're the middle child
Mm.
and the oldest is always getting the special treatment. Oh, his 14th birthday he gets a new Xbox. Oh, he gets this, he gets that. And then grandma comes along and she starts treating him with gifts. It's almost like you feel
Mm.
special for once because you're given that Xbox too. You were just gifted that Xbox too. You were
Right.
just given this, you were just given that. So it's going to be my duty to serve these people and treat them right. They're going to be like, who is this light skinned boy trying to be Malcolm X?
To make everybody feel seen.
Right.
Right.
And that's why I'm so inspired by people during the civil rights movement and how they were using their voice. And that's how I want to use my voice too. I want to speak up. I love how they were able to move and push people to see life from another perspective. And that's what
Hmm.
I'm trying to do. But I'm trying to do it in the futurist way by showing people. Let me show you. Let me destroy this over here and let me build structure. Let me show you what my vision is and how we
Mm.
can be better. Let me buy this land over here and let me build a city. You know what I mean? Let me
Hmm.
take these people who feel like a minority. Let me take these people who come from Mexico or come from um, wherever and let me place them here and let me show them royalty and how they should be treated because that's what America is. It's a whole bunch of separation. It's the social construct that keeps us separated and hating each other. And it makes no sense to me because we have to be united. We're literally, it's almost like, bro, it's almost like when you're seeing a colony of bees, they have to move in a pack. They have to go from
Hmm.
nest to nest. They have to stick together. That's how they stay in balance. That's how you keep the harmony. We have no harmony, bro. We're separated. We hate each other out here.
Which is very unfortunate
We're calling
because
each other names out here, bro. But man, someday, man, someday, bro, I want to be able to like really show people in humanity and just that we're really just all human beings and we all have so much potential. We have to believe in ourselves, man.
mhm,
We're so, bro, we have so much to offer.
we
You
do.
get what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
have the potential. We're all destined for greatness. I hate when people are like, I can't do this. Oh, yeah, just a couple weeks ago, I was talking to somebody and I'm like, hey, you want to come over and help me with this, bro? Like, I really need your help, one of my friends, right?
Mhm.
Like, I really need your help with this, bro. And he's like, I can't do that. I don't know. You ain't even tried. I'm sorry, everybody. The camera cut out. Something happened. There were some technical difficulties. But back to what I was saying, as far as people not trying and believing they can't do anything, we can do anything. You can do anything. And I tell people all the time, confidence comes free. It all starts with positive affirmation. All you got to say is you can do something. My dad says what you can't do, you can do. So we can do anything. And I was raised to believe, I was taught you could do anything. And that's how we got to raise our children. For them to escape social construct and these barriers, for them to uh, remove themselves from these shackles, we have to teach them that they could do anything and they could achieve anything. Because that's the truth. Because we could get so much farther that way. Because all you see in life are barriers, are walls. You run into these plateaus where you're unable to grow. We being the future and these children being the future, it is up to us to help them believe they can do anything. And that's what we got to install in them. But everybody, um we're running low on time here. We're going to wrap up this podcast and I'm going to end it off with some questions. And these questions are for Dylan because, you know, I really want to know what these questions. I wrote these down myself just to remember because I really want to hear from him. So, when did you start becoming an MJ fan?
It was I obviously heard about him prior to the year I really got into him, which was 2015, and 2015 was the year I became a moonwalker. So I went from hearing MJ, hearing Thriller, Billie Jean to being a moonwalker, knowing all the songs, looking at lyrics every single day to know the lyrics, and now I know it word for word. I don't know how many years ago 2015 was. 9 years ago.
Yeah, about 10, yeah, 9 years ago.
Yeah, so 9 years ago. So I've been a moonwalker for 9 years. I've been practicing for 9 years. I've been trying to. Um, I've actually almost perfected most of every single move. Just recently, I perfected the toe stand that I've been trying to perfect for years, and that's a message for you guys. Practice makes perfect in any way, shape, or form. So don't ever forget that. Um, and yeah, so 2015.
And um, our last question, and we can answer this together. So, our next project is a TV show. Damien.
Damien.
That's all I'm going to say for now. But you could do anything. You could do anything. We are all capable. You could do anything. You feel me?
You put your mind to.
You could
That's
do
a song,
anything.
guys. I don't know who made it, but that's a song.
Like that's what life is about, man. Like we gotta believe in ourselves. That's
the
how we
truth
get
of life.
farther. That's the truth.
No LD.
No LD. No LD.
All right, so close this out, man.
Well, everybody, that's perspective, and I hope we gave you all a new perspective with this episode here. So
Stay tuned for episode 3.
stay tuned. Coming soon. You guys have a good one. Later.